I, 21-year-old male, started dating this girl, Kate, 22-year-old female, at the beginning of the year. We hit it off and things have been going great. We have been spending every weekend together since. She is very kind, supportive, and has a good sense of humor. She's really everything I could have asked for in a girlfriend, and I like her a lot. She has some issues, though. She doesn't have her high school diploma because of some very unfortunate circumstances involving abuse, a very close death in the family, and being cheated on during the grieving process. She also doesn't have a job right now because of what she claims are severe leg pains. She is taking steps to fix her situation, though. Since we started going out, she seems to have found something to fight for and has begun going to therapy, taking medication, and is in the process of getting her GED started up. She is also trying to quit marijuana. I know that she has a lot of red flags, but I know that she is a good person, and I feel like if I can just help her get on the right track, we could have something great. Up until recently, I've been living at my dad's place out of town for work and had to move back to my mom's to attend trade school. The first weekend at my mom's, my girlfriend went to the mall with my sister and made a really stupid, dumb mistake. She decided to shoplift. She stole a few candy bars, a cat toy for my cat, and a makeup kit from Sephora, probably all totaling around $50. She got caught and was told to give the stuff back. The real issue is that my sister, who she was with, is currently trying to be a police officer. And obviously you can't have anything on your record if that's your goal. Kate immediately tried to fix the situation and apologized profusely and said that she didn't tell my sister she was stealing because she didn't want her to be involved. My sister told her it was fine because all her friends steal and her boyfriend steals in front of her. I do want to mention that the only reason I didn't dump Kate immediately was because she right away took ownership for her frick-up and tried to fix it and recognized that it was wrong. She grew up dirt poor, and so she was always around people who stole, and she stole here and there. It was never really something she thought too hard about because it was normalized. I talked with her and she swore on her dead family member's grave that she would never do it again, and I believe her. My sister then went and told my mother, and all hell broke loose. My mother banned Kate from the house, which is really shitty for me because she lives an hour away. So if she can't come and stay for a few days, that makes it really hard to spend time with her. She also said that Kate put my sister's future at risk, which I'm not really informed enough on shoplifting laws in Canada to be able to say for sure if that's accurate. I realize I should be more upset with Kate over the situation, but she immediately tried to rectify her frick-up and took ownership and accountability of it. So I was willing to give her another chance. I tried to explain to my mother that if Kate is banned, then all of my sister's friends and her boyfriend should be banned too, because they do the same thing. But she said no, because I guess he steals groceries to live, and she likes him better than her. I understand the wants versus needs argument, but I just want to say that after all the shit she's been through, this relationship is the first good thing that has happened to her in years. So I can understand why she would feel like she needed the makeup to be beautiful. So I wouldn't leave. I have never given her any indication that I have a problem with her appearance. However, my mother already didn't like my girlfriend because she would overhear conversations where we were messing around and thought I was being abused and told me I needed to stand up for myself. I was very upset about this situation because of the blatant unfairness and rules for thee, but not for me. My mother then started insulting Kate and telling me to break up with her. So for the last few days, I've been distant and dickish because of my frustration. Had my mother applied the rules equally, I wouldn't have really been able to complain. Today was a big explosion with my mother because I declined the invitation to attend her birthday dinner, which I think is fair given the circumstances. She told me that she wants me out of the house, and when I'm gone, she's selling it. She wants me to take my cat, too. She basically wants nothing to do with me and no ties to me. She said I'm now isolated from the family and I'm not allowed to speak to my grandfather because if he gets upset and has a heart attack, I'll be the pariah of the family worse than I already am now. I told my dad about the situation and he yelled at me saying that my mother was right. Kate is now banned from his house, and I'm too female genitalia blind to see that I'm throwing my entire family away. They don't even want to listen to reason. Kate is trying really, really hard to get better, and I want to help her, but literally everyone in my family hating me and isolating me is an awful feeling. I don't want to break up with her and grovel at everyone's feet and beg for forgiveness, but I feel like I have no choice here. I really don't know what to do. I just need some advice. If I'm a complete idiot, tell me because I need the raw truth. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. You are in the wrong with your mother. It is her house, and if she is not comfortable with your girlfriend being there, given the recent incidents, you should respect that versus arguing and justifying why others shouldn't be allowed in either. When someone is angry, these comments will not make them see your point. Instead, she will get angrier that you appear to be making excuses. Your girlfriend is a red flag. It is your prerogative if you want to stay around to rescue her, but that is not your job. You should consider what she is adding to your life and if she is distracting you from building a positive life of your own. Comment 2. I noticed a trend in your post describing Kate's issues. Have you ever noticed how every single time there is some convoluted explanation that completely absolves her of any and all responsibility? Like she didn't graduate because of XYZ, she can't work because of XYZ, she stole because of XYZ, and so on and so forth. I point this out because this is the red flag equivalent to the flag being raised at Iwo Jima. Now, for the update, thank you for sticking around for more of my life's chaos. So, a lot has happened since I last posted. Remember how I said Kate was trying to get her life together? Well, she was until she wasn't. She's been going to therapy, taking her meds, and working on her GED, but then she did something that blew my mind. Kate and I had been planning to spend the weekend together, but she canceled last minute, saying she wasn't feeling well. I thought nothing of it, just wished her a speedy recovery. Turns out, she wasn't sick at all. She was out with some old friends from her past, the kind that got her into trouble before. They ended up getting caught trying to steal a car. Yeah, a car. I couldn't believe it. She called me from the police station, crying, saying it was all a mistake, that she was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, but I don't know what to believe anymore. Meanwhile, my sister's been acting weird ever since the shoplifting incident. She's been avoiding me, and I couldn't figure out why until I overheard a conversation between her and my mom. Turns out, she's been seeing someone behind her boyfriend's back. And guess who it is? My best friend. The same best friend who's been telling me to dump Kate since day one. I was floored. I trusted him with everything, and he stabs me in the back like this? And then there's my mom. She's been on my case nonstop. She's been telling everyone in the family about Kate's latest screw-up, making sure everyone knows her opinion on the matter. She's been pushing me to break up with Kate, saying she's nothing but trouble. But after what I found out about my sister and my best friend, I don't know who to trust anymore. I've been feeling so isolated. My family's turned their backs on me. My best friend betrayed me. And now Kate's messed up again. I've been trying to keep it together, but it's hard. I've been staying at a friend's place since my mom kicked me out, just trying to figure out my next move. I've been thinking a lot about what I want and what's best for me. I've realized that I can't keep making excuses for Kate. I want to be there for her, but not if it means being dragged down with her. I've decided to take a break from our relationship to give her space to sort herself out and for me to figure out what I want. It's been tough, but I'm trying to stay positive. I've been focusing on trade school, trying to make something of myself. I've also been spending more time with my cat, who's been a great comfort during all this. I'm not sure what the future holds, but I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping that Kate can turn her life around, that my family can forgive me, and that I can move on from all this drama. But for now, I'm just taking it one day at a time. Thank you for reading. My boyfriend hides pictures of another girl on his phone. So I confront him and make him watch as I message the guy he was jealous of. So I'm 21, and so is my boyfriend, who I've been with for a year. Yesterday, he took my phone as he was picking up my delivery from me, so he let me use his phone. We always do this, and I've never gone through his messages, but because yesterday he messaged me from my phone on Snapchat to let me know my parents called. He also sent me a phone I accidentally pressed on another chat. As luck would have it, it happened to be the girl I'm quite insecure about, and I found out she was sending him explicit pictures, and he had them saved. All of them were from when we were on a break, but the last few ones were from a week before we got back together. The thing is, I don't care that much about the photos, but we did have a rule that during our break, we would tell each other about every person we were talking to, kissing, going on dates, or even sending photos to. I even told him about a guy who he is also insecure about, so he would never stumble upon a surprise. My thing is that I still don't understand why he lied to me when I've asked him about the same girl multiple times. After I discovered that, we did have a talk, but still haven't come to a conclusion or anything. Any advice on what to do? I did forget to add. The break was my idea, as we were in 2 different countries for summer, and I was dealing with a lot of personal issues. And when I came back home after the summer break, it took us about 2 weeks to end the break and get back together, where a lot of mistakes on both ends were made. I met that girl after we got back together, so that's why I still don't understand why he never told me, but did tell me about everything else. Edit. Some things have not been clarified, and sorry for the confusion. The break started halfway through summer, as a lot was wrong with the relationship, and we both needed to figure ourselves out and what we wanted. No, I didn't go straight to another guy, or even sleep with anyone during the break. We both made a lot of mistakes that we both still regret to this day, and we hurt each other a lot, but we have left it all in the past. And to everyone who is telling me I'm toxic for opening the chat, it was a genuine mistake, as he had sent her a message earlier about next year, as the girl is moving to the university we both go to. So instead of clicking on my chat, I accidentally went into hers. Yes, I should not have scrolled up and checked all the prior messages, but I had a gut feeling something was wrong, and things never added up when I first met her, as she was always flirting with my boyfriend. I genuinely don't care that he was getting attention from other girls as we were on a break, and it's fully understandable after what went down during that time. It's the fact that he never told me what really happened. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Leave. He lied, and he knew you were insecure about this girl, assuming. Even if he didn't know you were insecure, he still lied. As a person who is about to break up with their lying girlfriend, the lying won't stop. She has been lying since day 1, and still 5 months later, save yourself. Comment 2. Is it really that difficult to stay committed in a relationship? This subreddit makes me wonder how many people out there who seem to be just average folks do some heinous shit like cheating. Do people not have empathy anymore? Now for the update. Thanks for sticking around to hear more about this mess. So, after I found those messages, things just spiraled. I tried to shake it off, but it was like a splinter in my mind, you know? I couldn't let it go. I kept thinking about why he'd hide it from me. It made me question everything. Then, 3 days ago, my boyfriend's phone buzzed with a message from her again. This time, I wasn't snooping. It was right there when he was showing me a meme. He tried to play it off, but I saw her name and my heart just sank. I confronted him and he finally spilled the beans. Turns out, they had met up once during our break. It wasn't just photos. They kissed. That hit me like a ton of bricks. I felt betrayed all over again. I was fuming, and in that moment, I did something I never thought I'd do. I messaged the guy I told him about during our break, the one he's insecure about. I was hurt and wanted to make him feel what I was feeling. It was petty, and I regretted it almost immediately. But what's done is done, and it set off a chain reaction. My boyfriend found out, and we had a huge fight. He said he felt like I was getting back at him, and maybe I was, but then he did something unexpected. He broke down, apologized, and told me he was scared of losing me. He said he didn't tell me about the kiss because he thought it would ruin any chance of us getting back together. He was desperate, and it showed. I was torn. Part of me wanted to walk away from all this drama, but another part of me couldn't. I've invested so much in this relationship. So I did something that might make me look weak or desperate. I forgave him, I told him we needed to start fresh. No more lies, no more secrets. It was a tough pill to swallow, but I did it. The next day, as if things couldn't get any more complicated, the girl messaged me. She apologized, said she didn't know we were trying to work things out, and that she wouldn't have gotten involved if she did. She even offered to transfer to a different university. It was a lot to process. I didn't know what to make of it. Was she being genuine, or was this another play? I talked to my boyfriend about it, and we decided to take it as a sign to really try and move past everything. We agreed to give each other space to heal, but also to work on rebuilding trust. It's not going to be easy, but we're going to try. So, that's where we're at now. It's been very eventful, and I'm just trying to hold on. Thanks for reading. My husband ignores our babies and flirts with another woman. So I land a job and make him watch as I rebuild my life without him. My husband, 42 years old, and I, 35 years old, tried for so long to have our boys and girl. Due to a health issue my husband suffered, he developed fertility issues, and we had to get medical assistance to be able to have our children because if we didn't, he'd probably never have kids. So we went through fertility treatment. He desperately wanted children, and we spent a fortune just to bring them into the world. And now he's jealous and distant with them. He's constantly in competition with his own infant children. If I hold the children, he gets frustrated. Anytime they take my attention away, he gets completely pissy. He's always in a foul mood, irritable, and just downright nasty. I don't understand it. Why is he like this? Our children are barely 6 months old, and they won't stop crying every time he's near. I feel like they can sense his negativity. I tried talking to him. I've suggested he take interest in the kids and spend more time with us as a family. I know it can sometimes take a little longer for parents to bond with their children, but this is downright scary to experience. He's full of jealousy and envy. He sees our children as competition to my time and affections. A few times now, he has made comments about feeling frustrated that I still breastfeed our children. The thing is, we mix feed, so he has had ample opportunity to feed them. And he just doesn't. He also said that this, meaning our life and our marriage after children, wasn't what he thought it would be like. I mean, what did he expect? A singular baby cries, and 3 of them cry a lot. We've been together for 8 years and married for 7 years. He wanted these children. He pushed for them. And now this. I never thought this would ever be me. I am scared. I am scared for my children. I have tried talking to him, but he just brushes me off. I've suggested counseling. He refuses. He tells me it's all in my head. I want to save this marriage, but I am scared I won't be able to, and maybe it's not worth saving. He comes home later every day. He avoids us on the weekends and any time he has off. I'm not ashamed to say that I went through his phone, and there are a lot of flirtatious texts between him and a Jessica. I don't think anything has happened between them, but it sure looks like they are building up to it. I haven't said anything because I'm afraid. Where do I go with 3 children, with no money and no family that can help me? I haven't worked in 2 years, and I've spent all my savings on having these children. My mind is in a complete meltdown. I can't sleep, I can't think, and I'm always exhausted. What the hell happened? Is this him now, forever? Edit. Some of you are some real evil bastards. Stop blaming me for him mistreating me. I do not deserve to be treated this way, and neither do my kids. Stop messaging me evil things. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. There is some staggeringly bad advice here, OP. I would reach out to a local domestic violence organization to help with what your next steps might be, where to find legal aid, and to get support from people who will understand the dynamic of hurtful relationships. That's not always as available as it should be, but it's worth a try. However, if you contact them, be sure to delete the call, text, chat web address. Sadly, it sounds like you know that he's a little match is a pool of gasoline. The hotline.org is if you live in the US. For your go bag in your trunk, hide it carefully. That may set him off. Also, make copies of important documents and have a friend or relative keep them, just in case. Make a whole plan for if you need to escape. Here's an interactive safety plan. Know that you are not alone. This isn't your fault and you deserve to be treated well. You deserve a dedicated father to your babies. If therapy is accessible, go, whether he does or not. It'll help you figure out what should happen next. Big hugs, Mama. Comment 2. I'm so sorry you are going through this. I left my husband when my kids were 6 months old and 2 years old for this reason. It was the best decision I ever made. During separation, when he would come to visit the kids, it always turned into him wanting to have one-on-one time with me. It was never about wanting to spend time with his children. By the time I left him, my 2-year-old was terrified of him and cried and hid behind my legs when he walked into the room. He never hit me. The yelling was enough. My kids are in their 20s now and are amazing. But my oldest has chronic anxiety and diagnosed OCD. And I wonder to this day if it was caused in part by the trauma of her father being verbally hurtful. I was fortunate enough to have a fully supportive family who continue to support me and my kids to this day. But I understand you don't have that. Try to find a therapist who specializes in DV. Try to start making plans to leave. I am so sorry. Now for the update. Thanks for sticking around for more of my life's chaos. So, the other day, I caught him texting Jessica again. He was planning to meet her after work. My heart sank. I confronted him and he exploded, saying I was suffocating him. He stormed out and didn't come back until the next morning. I was up all night, the baby's crying, and me just lost in thought. I remembered how we used to be so different. Back when we were dating, he was the one who talked about starting a family. He'd been so excited, showing me baby clothes he'd seen online. Now it's like he's a stranger. I decided to call my old boss from before I left work to focus on fertility treatments. I needed to know if there was a chance I could get my job back. She was surprised but said she'd think about it. That gave me a glimmer of hope. Meanwhile, he's been more absent than ever. Barely home, barely speaking to me or the kids. It's like we're just living in the same house, not a family. Then, my boss called back. She had a position open, not exactly what I used to do, but close enough. She offered it to me. I accepted without hesitation. I needed some independence back, some control over my life. I started making plans. I looked into daycare options, calculated budgets, and figured out how I could make this work. It was tough, but I was determined. He noticed the change in me. I was busier on the phone, making arrangements. He asked what was going on, and I told him straight up about the job. He was shocked and said we didn't need the money that he could provide. But it wasn't about the money. It was about me, about us, about getting some power back in my life. He didn't like it. He said I was trying to take his kids away from him. I reminded him that they were our kids and that I was trying to secure a future for them, with or without him. The tension was unbearable. We were like 2 ticking bombs in the house, and then, one night, it all blew up. He came home early, which was a shock. He sat me down and said he wanted to talk. He admitted he'd been feeling overwhelmed since the kids were born. He felt like he'd lost me, lost us. He confessed that talking to Jessica was an escape, a way to feel wanted again. But he swore nothing physical had happened. I listened, feeling a mix of anger and relief. I told him about the messages I'd seen, about how betrayed I felt. We argued, we cried, and for the first time in months, we actually talked. He agreed to go to counseling. He said he wanted to try, for us, for the family we'd wanted so badly. I was skeptical, but agreed. The next day, I started my new job. It was hard leaving the kids at daycare, but they seemed to adjust well. I felt alive again, like I was more than just a mom and a neglected wife. He started therapy, and after a few sessions, he asked me to join him. It was rough, digging up all the hurt and resentment, but it was also healing. We're not perfect, but things are better. He's trying, really trying. He spends time with the kids now, without that edge of jealousy. And I'm learning to trust him again, slowly. I'm exhausted, juggling work and home, but I feel stronger. I have a plan, a backup, and a bit of the old me back. Thanks for reading. It's been a hell of a 2 weeks. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.